Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Talking Reds. A big news day today for Liverpool Football Club. Some big transfer stories coming out today from big names: Romano, Plettenberg. A few names coming out today. I've got a striker on the watch. Nunez possibly going out the door. Kvaratskhelia coming to Liverpool is a no-go at the moment. And a big story on the Bournemouth wing at Semenyo, which is an exciting story for me. I like this story. But we'll leave that one to the end. We're going to keep you waiting, guys, at home, and what the story is on Semenyo. We're going to start with potentially Darwin Nunez leaving the club. And we're going to be looking at the striker that we're looking at as well, the Greek striker that we're looking at as well from Nuremberg. But David Lynch has come out and said Darwin Nunez, he expects him to go possibly in the summer. That is the talk from David Lynch right now. He expects he thinks he will be sold in the summer, but he don't think the club will rush it to do it now. So, Reece, Darwin Nunez, another game, another few misses. It seems like Slot's losing his patience with him, just the fans losing their patience with him. Will Slot be allowed to sell him in the summer, is what I want to ask you.
No, I think he'll be allowed to sell him in the summer. I think if he could have got rid of him in January, he would. But for him to get rid of him, we would need to bring someone in. And the only strongest suitors they have at the minute is Saudi, which I don't think Nunes is going to go to. I think any other team, it will be a loan. And I don't know if Liverpool's necessarily going to do that because then again, if you let him go on loan, that makes you weaker and you kind of got to bring someone in. So I do think in the summer, part ways with him. And I think with Nunes, I just think he just doesn't fit our system. I think there's other teams he can go to and strive and be successful. Like say Nottingham Forest, for example. I think he'll do all right somewhere like that. I think he needs a team where they can kind of build the team around him, all the services kind of directly to him. Whereas when you're at a big club, it doesn't really work like that because there's so many good players. So yeah, I get a lot of the fan base are frustrated with him, but I don't think we're going to get rid of him in January. I think it'll probably be the summer. You just got to kind of make do with what you have. The one thing I will say about him, which I will give him credit for, is that he doesn't hide. So even though it's frustrating him missing a lot of chances, he doesn't necessarily drop his head and then just disappear from the game. He'll keep going. So that's the one positive I'd give him.
What worries me is the price tag that we're buying for. Obviously, it could go up to 85 million, including the bonuses and things like that.
We're not going to get that. We're not going to get that.
We're not going to get that because he's not going to get the bonuses. But I just think we've paid at least 65, 70 million for him, and under FSG's sell to buy ownership and the tight budgets that we do get, would want a good amount for him in return. And that's where I worry. That's where I think he becomes unsellable. I'm hoping he's not unsellable, but it becomes unsellable because no one's going to pay 60, 65 million for him unless it is potentially Saudi. I mean, there were reports yesterday coming from Saudi that they were willing to offer him 400 grand a week. I don't know how much they care watch football over there, but that's a lot of money for Nunez. And are we relying, Patricia, do you think on Saudi clubs to pay 60, 65 million, or do you think we'll sell him for cheaper?
Yeah, I think. Well, I'm not too sure about the Saudi clubs, but I kind of agree with Reece where he could go to like a lesser team, sort of Premier League, Champions League status, maybe on that equivalent sort of level. I mean, we brought him when he was doing really well, obviously at Benfica, but it just didn't translate to the Prem. And I think he said 3.5 seasons with us, and he seems to be more of a facilitator where he seems to be on the wings and pass it in. He seems to be more of a player like that rather than a typical poacher. So I think that a club like Forest would be good for him, somewhere where they could sort of have him there, but the team's not just based on the one striker, whereas like we need someone that can be that sort of main man as well. Like we've got Salah, but he's not always as consistent, and we need consistent finishers. Like someone like Marmoush would have been insane for us. I know that can't happen now, but I feel like that type of player, like an Isak. So I do wish the best for Nunes, to be honest. And seeing him on the pitch, you do see a presence there. He does cause chaos, but it's just not the sort of chaos we need him to cause. And so I don't know how much we're going to get for him. I don't know what they value him at, but I would like to see. We won't see our money, that's for sure. But it'd be up. I'm hoping upwards of 50 mil. But
I was going to say, Yeah,
don't know how they value him, to be honest. So yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
was
just that.
thinking who's going to pay 50 million for him. That's the
well,
issue. You talk about Forest, they've got a better
Yeah,
striker there already.
at best we could get.
yeah.
Yeah, I think you could AC Milan or one of them teams there, Atletico. I could see that 50 at best, but the 85 you're not going to recruit the whole amount
No,
for him.
no.
40 to 50, you kind of got to cut your losses for me.
And this is the big problem under FSG because we've seen in the past where Klopp has had to keep players because the high value on them. I remember we tried getting rid of Enrique and we put 20, I think it was 25 million on him, and people weren't paying that. People weren't willing to pay that for Enrique, and we ended up keeping him again. And we've done it in the past where we've just out price players from moves. And it seems like we're doing that with Tyler Morton right now. Tyler Morton said the other day he wants to play first team football, whether it be Liverpool, but he's happy to move elsewhere if he's allowed to move elsewhere. Again, now we're pricing players out of moves, and this is what I'm worried about Nunez. If we stick such a big price tag on him, we're very stubborn when it comes to that. We want other people to move their price tags, but we don't move anytime by our price tags. If we stick a 65 million price tag on him, and no one's going to match that, that's why I think it could become unsellable.
To be fair, if players like sort of Timo Werner would be able to be bought as well, then I think Nunes could go to someone. It's just maybe Liverpool isn't the right team for him. Maybe the pressure of the Premier League was too much. There was a player there, you could see it a few seasons ago, but just didn't translate. So
It would
I would like
suit actually. Now you mentioned Werner, it would suit Leipzig. He's quite a Werner kind of player. Relies on speed, relies on breaking the offside trap, and needs 100 chances a game. That's what Werner needed. But in the Bundesliga, it's different. At
now he's
Leipzig,
back at Tottenham.
back at Tottenham, back to being crap again. At Leipzig, he
Yeah.
absolutely ripped it up. So I can see someone like
Yeah.
Leipzig being a good pick for Nunez. But as well as the addition, the rumours of Nunez leaving and who's going to replace him? Well, we're already looking at a striker, according to Plettenberg, according to Anfield Watch. So Anfield Watch came out of this first. Liverpool are ready to pay 25 million for PRK Salonika striker Stefanos Simas. I hope I pronounced that right. A Greek striker who is on loan at the moment at Nuremberg. A 19-year-old. He's got 8 goals this season already at Nuremberg in Bundesliga 2. I think Nuremberg are like, I want to say about 13th, 12th in the league. They're not doing particularly well, but it's getting goals. One thing that worries me, I don't know this guy, really. I don't think anyone in the Liverpool fan base probably knows this guy. But a 19-year-old, if he's such a good striker at Liverpool looking at, why are Salonika loaning him out? Why are the Greek Super League side loaning him out to a German Bundesliga 2 side, Patricio?
See, that's what worries me as well. I'm not sure if that's like a future signing where they're thinking of what he'll become in and turn into, but it just seems like it's another buy that they're thinking we can get on a cheap and potentially he might make something out of it, see what Slot can make out of him. But that is quite a worry because we were being linked with names like sort of Marmoush, then Isaac, and even those sort of players, and even like a Gyökeres, someone like that. We need someone of that stature, but to be fair, I've got no clue what this guy's like, to be honest. The fact that he's only 19 as well, when we've got Dan's who's 18 and hasn't really had that chance to prove himself, is a bit of a shock. I would like to see Dan's play more, so I couldn't really comment on anything with the Greek person. He could be really good, but I wouldn't know, to be honest.
Having read what Plettenberg's put as well, Florian Plettenberg, this is the guy that came out of it today as well as Anfield Watch reads. Reading what he's put here, they're still planning. Nuremberg are still planning to activate the 18 million euro buy option with intention to selling him in the summer.
Yeah,
So they're wanting to buy the player on a buyout clause, but then with the intention to sell him.
that sounds a bit strange. Sounds a bit like
it does, yeah.
Doesn't really sound promising. I'm not, to be honest, Liverpool being linked with anyone in January, I'm not really into it too much.
Well, welcome to Talking Reds, guys. Welcome to Talking Reds, and welcome to Transfer Talk here with Reece.
In order, like I said, in order for us to sign someone, we need to, for us to sign someone, we would have to get rid of someone. So unless you see someone leave, maybe a Ben Doak could leave, but even still, that money will probably be generated towards something in the summer. Like I said, what I'm hoping for is that Chiesa pushes on. He played quite well on the weekend. He looked sharp for that 45 minutes. He's looked sharp in training from what I've seen today and yesterday. And similar to Patricia, I hope really I've been kind of screaming that Dan should kind of get pushed
Yep.
up in the pecking order ahead of Nunez. Nunez will still get minutes, but I think we need to use what we have if we're not going to sign anyone. And for me, that game kind of was an example of if you watch Nunez in that game and then you watch Dan's, it's kind of night and day. It's like what you're looking
Agreed,
for
yeah.
from Nunez is what you got from Dan's. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Another thing that worries me, what Plettenberg says here, is saying Nuremberg have set a price tag of, I don't know how Nuremberg is setting this price tag, unless they actually are definitely buying him, because he's actually on loan from Salonika, so I don't know why we're speaking to Nuremberg about this. And I think Nuremberg are going to buy him, but they're willing to sell him in the summer. That makes no sense at all to me. They set a €25 million plus add-ons price tag on him. Liverpool, Chelsea, Brighton, Aston Villa, and other Bundesliga clubs have been informed. So it's it sounds to me they're trying to really sell this guy. They're reaching out to other clubs to say, look, we've got this guy for this amount of money, rather than us reaching out to them.
Yes, it's strange. It's for me, it's the first time hearing of it, but it's a bit. At the same time, I don't know. Liverpool usually is a bit more strategic when they kind of go in for someone that's not really like spur of the moment. So we're always going to be linked with this one, that one. Who's to say this club's not just kind of using this in a way to be pushed to Liverpool so they can get some sort of money for him? But that doesn't really make no sense, buying someone to only have him for like a few months.
Yeah.
Sell him on. It's a bit.
When they've got him on loan now, so I've never heard that before. A loan player, they're willing to buy him for that season, halfway through the season, and just to sell him on in the summer. That, to me, that's blagged my head, to be honest. So moving from one player that we're definitely not getting in January to another player we're certainly not getting in January, and that's Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. We did the report the other day that Liverpool are interested. They put it out there through Joyce. They put it out there through Romano. They put it out there through David Ornstein. And now we've heard our favourite word in the Liverpool fan base, and it's monitoring. So Victor Romano has confirmed that we are just monitoring the situation. Monitor FC, whatever you want to call us, we are back. It is monitoring situation. And PSG feel like they can reach an agreement for a lower fee, and they're going to make it happen as soon as possible, because they don't want people to hijack the move. Do it, PSG. We ain't hijacking anything, so don't need to worry about us. You just do your business. Patricia, what do you think about that? For me, I said, look, is not a position we're looking at. I don't know why we're even looking at left wing. We've got Diaz. Unless Diaz is to go in the summer, then I'd look at left wing. But right now, it's not a position I want to look at. But if we're waiting for opportunity, I put it out the other day. We're waiting for opportunistic signings. That's the report that's come out all the time. Opportunistic signings. An opportunity comes up to buy a player we're interested in. It says he wants to leave, and we don't move. Isn't that a bit of contradiction?
Yeah, but the thing is, though, that opportunistic player comes with a price tag, and it's a price tag that we're not willing to pay. And the thing is, though, I've seen I think it was on Instagram, Romano said that PSG is they've agreed personal terms with him. So it seems like they're advancing quite quickly. But it just seems that why didn't we get in there and do this? We've been all right in the past with snatching up deals and making sure we get it closed down quickly, and obviously doing them behind doors. So it just seems that we're just being a bit lackluster. We're not going for opportunistic signings. We're just going for ones that are cheap and could be something special, but when it benefits a certain company. So I don't know. It's I haven't got my hopes up for anything, to be honest. I kind of think January's just going to be January. Might sell someone on and just carry on as normal, to be honest. I haven't got any hopes.
We've always said, though, haven't we, that the opportunistic sign is just used for the word cheap. It's just another synonym for cheap for me, and it can't be used anymore. I don't think it can be used anymore. I haven't watched what's happened with this certain situation, because there's an opportunity there to get a player that we're clearly interested in, and we're not moving for it, really. So moving on, though, from Kvaratskhelia, Reece, there's also a little bit on Joshua Kimmich today. That I think it's, what's his name, Sasha Tavares, a well-known journalist. He's not really reliable, but a well-known journalist said that we are in direct contact with Kimmich's entourage. and Liverpool target him to in case Trent leaves. Joshua Kimmich, he will be free. I think it is free. He will be free, won't they, in summer?
Yeah, I think he'll be free. He's in the last year of his contract.
Yeah. So, are you? Is he a player?
I like Kimmich, but I would have went for him a couple seasons ago.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. How old is he now? As well,
29, I think.
29. Yeah, he must be about 29. Yeah.
I'll still take him, but I think this is more just smoke and mirrors. This is just more kind of tactics with Trent, maybe to apply pressure to Trent, maybe.
Potentially, yeah.
For me, I think if Trent goes, they'll go for a younger alternative. I don't see they're going to bring Kimmich in, and the wages he's going to demand. Like, if it was me, I would keep Trent and sign him. Why not? And have him as a squad option. But
and a DM as well. He could play DM as well. So,
but yeah, I just think I just think that's kind of smoke and mirrors, and I think the wages he's going to command, I don't see that. I think if we was actually going to get him, we would have probably got him
earlier. Yeah, definitely.
But I do rate him as a player. I just think he's got a bit more miles on the clock.
When we were talking about right backs had to replace Trent, I know Bradley's going to replace him naturally, but we had Lewis Steele on the stream the other week, and he said Frimpong was the main guy that we've been looking at for Bayer Leverkusen. So I don't really look anywhere else in terms of right backs if we had to get a right back. So the biggest news of the day and the most exciting news of the day for me, in terms of the player that's linked for us, I'm not saying I believe it. It's January transfer window. It's Liverpool transfer window. I don't believe anything. Really, if I'm absolutely honest with you, until it's absolutely signed dotted on the line. So Semenyo, Antoine Semenyo for Bournemouth. According to Scott Wilson from the Northern Echo, we are willing to use Ben Doak as part of a deal to get Semenyo in from Bournemouth. Bournemouth do value him at £50 million at the moment. I think £50 million is I say it's all right for Semenyo, you know. If we were to lose Salah, Semenyo is definitely up there for me, alongside Mbeumo, Kudus in terms of replacement. Mamu should have been a nice one, but that's like Patricia said, that's gone. Patricia, Semenyo, 50 million, including Ben Doak in a deal. Is that a good deal for you?
Possibly, yeah. I think if they value him at 50 mil, I mean, I'd see if we get it from cheaper, but especially if we do value Doak at 30. But I don't know if Semenyo is up there for like in terms of Kudus for me. I think Kudus is like another breed of player. To be honest, I think you can see it on the pitch. He's just electric. But to be honest, I do not watch a lot of Bournemouth, so I wouldn't really have a lot to put on this. But if you're saying that he's up there and he's got that kind of player, then maybe, and especially if Liverpool can make something of him, then and he can be that Salah replacement, then why not? I know that he's done well for Bournemouth, but do you reckon you can see him as that Salah replacement? You reckon you can put the?
I don't see anyone as Salah replacement. If I'm honest, I'm absolutely honest. I don't see anyone as Salah replacement. But if we is to go, we've got to get someone, and he's probably one of the best out there right now, in terms of not a direct replacement Salah, but just one of the best out there right now for that position. All these links to Kvaratskhelia, to Semenyo, to what's the Leon player called? I can't think of the Leon player now. It's out of my mind.
Ryan Cherky.
Yeah, Ryan Cherky. Yeah, Ryan Cherky. Yeah, all these links to them. Reece, does this tell you that we're preparing to lose a forward? And what forward?
Potentially. Well, the obvious one is Nunez, but I think, like I said,
I'm thinking more wingers in terms of these are all like winger players.
Yeah, I think we could, because you've got to remember Diaz's contract situation is still up in the air. He hasn't really agreed negotiations. Obviously, Barcelona are lurking as well, but obviously they've got financial issues. But they look like a good team, based on especially the way they battered Real Madrid again the other night. But no, I do think, like I said, people are going to be surprised. I think there's going to be a few people that leave in the summer. There's going to be kind of a revamp. So there might be one or two people that leave that is not necessary, that the fans want to leave. Even someone like a Jota, and I wouldn't get rid of Jota, but I could understand why. I could see 2 or 3 people leaving in the summer. So
I don't know if we'd ever do that though. I can't see us doing. You know why? I can't see us letting that many players go, because I don't think we'd bring that many players in. to replace them.
If you get the right amount of money, you will. Last year, we probably didn't think we was going to get 3 midfielders, and we got 3.
We had no choice but to get 3. We lost.
No, but we did the transition in one swoop. So
we don't want no more transitions. I think that's the thing. We're top of the league now, and if we win the league, we want to build on from that. We don't want no more transitions. And this is the thing we need to.
There are players there that, for me, you kind of got to look at Joe's injury prone.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah,
you got to look at Diaz. If they're not going to renew his contract, then they're probably going to cash in on Diaz. No, it doesn't make sense to keep him, and I think he's got around 2 years left. So if you keep him, and then he's got a year left next year, you won't get a certain amount for him. Whereas if you were to sell him in the summer and you didn't agree a contract, you probably get 70 or 80 million for Diaz, which is a lot of money. I guess you kind of got to wait and see. But like I said, I do think on top of it's kind of frustrating because we've got a few areas that we need to address, but I think there could be other areas that they end up dealing with as well. So yeah.
Particularly, what worries me again, I said, because we're looking at forwards, I'm sort of terrified that forwards are going to go. Well, I'm not. Like I said, I'm happy if Diaz stays. I'm happy if he goes, if he plays properly. But I'm more worried about the Salah situation. Semenyo's the right winger. Mainly plays on the right. He can play either side, but he mainly plays on the right. So is the potential of him being a Salah replacement?
Possibly, yeah. And it seems to be that we're sort of keeping our players and running them to the ground and then getting like future-proofing in a way, but on a cheap. Like with Chiesa, we got someone there, but obviously he's injury-prone. Not too sure if he's going to still succeed with us, although I'd like him to very much so. And the fact that they are looking at wingers predominantly at the moment, it seems to be that they are just maybe if Diaz goes, I mean, then fair one. But as long as they can replace him with someone of just as good quality, if not better, just someone that they like a namesake. But yeah, it seems to be that they don't want to get the here and now. Like if not, we would have got like a left back. We would have got players that are actually required now. It just seems to be for the future type of thing. So it's a bit difficult of what's going through their minds, to be honest, with the higher up. So don't know what's to come, to be honest.
Well, whatever happens in the January transfer, I'm not expecting anything to happen, guys. Reece and Patricia, I don't think are expecting anything to happen. Like Reece said before we came on stream, take it with a pinch of salt. I don't take it with just a pinch of salt. Liverpool transfer news right now. I take it with the whole sea, the salt. You know what's it called? Dead Sea. All the salt that's in the Dead Sea. That's the amount of salt I take it with in terms of Liverpool transfers, especially January transfers. I don't expect any movements. If you want to expect any movements, let me know in the comments if you expect any movements. But I certainly don't. I'm quite chilled in terms of not getting excited about signings, but we still need a couple. I still think we need a couple. I think we still can win the league without signings, but I won't laugh off the suggestion of signings because at the end of the day, we've dropped off a couple of times now without backing our manager in January. We didn't back him in the summer, so I'm not expecting it right now. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you want all the latest Liverpool news, all the latest Liverpool gossip, and much, much more Liverpool content in terms of debates, in terms of predictions, in terms of match previews, match reactions, and quizzes. We've got it all on the Talking Reds. Make sure you like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and get your notification bells on as well. Thank you for watching. Have a great night, guys.